What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin, and in today's video I'm going to clear up a topic that has brought a lot of unnecessary stress to a lot of people, and I want to clear things up. And the topic we are going to discuss is meal timing and meal frequency. Now, when it comes to this topic, we have two big different camps. We have one camp where the belief is that one should eat multiple small meals spread all over the day to keep the metabolic fire burning, to keep your metabolism stoked, and to keep its rate up. Because if they believe that if you don't eat regularly, your body will store a lot of fat because you've tapped into some kind of survival mode. And then we have the other camp of intermittent fasting. These people believe that if you fast for a long period of time and eat your calories for the day in a specific eating window, the most popular protocol is like 16 to 18 hours of fasting combined with a 6 to 8 hour eating window. And these people believe that if you fast, you utilize the fat reserves you have to fuel your activities, and that once you do eat, because of the elevated hormones that float around your body, your nutrition partitioning is better, and more of the fuel that you take in will go to muscle building, to storing glycogen stores, and just not being stored as fat. And I'm here to tell you that it doesn't really matter which camp you choose, because what really matters at the end of the day is calories in versus calories out. When I used to start my fitness journey, I fell into the multiple meals per day camp because that was the hype back then. I used to believe what bodybuilders promoted, that you had to eat so many meals per day to keep your metabolic fire stoked. And the thing is, it works. But it doesn't work because you eat multiple meals per day. It simply works because I respected the most fundamental law, and that is the fundamental law of energy balance. Calories in versus calories out. When intermittent fasting came along, I wanted to try the hype. I wanted to see what it was all about. And I switched from my protocol of eating multiple meals per day to fasting for about 16 to 18 hours per day and having all my daily calories in a 6 to 8 hour eating window. Truth is, guys, my results were exactly the same. There was no muscle loss, there was no additional fat loss. It all came down to how many calories I ate on that specific day. If, for example, at this point, my maintenance calories is 2,800 calories per day, and I eat about 140 grams of protein. It doesn't really matter what I do. I have some days that I'm occupied with work or I don't have time to eat. I'm working on my business, I'm at my normal job, I'm rehearsing my guitar skills, whatever it may be, and I simply don't have time to eat, or I'm just so caught up in the moment that I actually forget to eat. Now, there's no problem with that, because at the end of the day, I have a big ass meal that covers the majority of my protein intake and has a good amount of carbs and fats put together. And then to close out the day, I have a great dessert, also have another portion of protein, get some fruits in, and I feel full, I feel satisfied, I love it. And to be honest, I love intermittent fasting. That is my protocol of choice, but that is simply because it suits my lifestyle very well, not necessarily because it is better than eating multiple meals per day. Oftentimes it happens that I meet up with people, for example, around noon, or I have a break where I go out to have coffee, sometimes we eat a little cake, and sometimes I get invited to have breakfast somewhere. The thing is, guys, if that happens, I just take it as it comes. And what I do is I just count my calories for the day, or estimate my calories for the day. Sometimes it's a little bit over, sometimes it's a little bit under. It doesn't really matter since I'm not that strict right now, but in general, I keep track of my calories. And like I said, it doesn't matter whether I eat once a day, twice a day per day, 8 meals per day, as long as at the end of the day my calorie total and protein requirements are covered, I'm fine. And I haven't noticed any better gains in terms of muscular gains when it comes to muscle building by eating multiple meals. I haven't noticed better results in terms of fat loss when I eat multiple meals or intermittent fast. The most important thing that matters for fat loss or gaining weight as well is calories in versus calories out. If you want to lose fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit, and that is easily achieved by intermittent fasting because you essentially skip a meal, and at the end of the day you eat one or two big meals that have a lot of calories in them. You feel fulfilled, you feel satisfied, but it's easy to create a calorie deficit. However, if you prefer to eat multiple meals across the day, just eliminate one or two meals and you also have created a calorie deficit. Same thing for if you want to build muscle. It's pretty easy, man. You just gotta play with your calories. You just either, when you intermittent fast, have to add another meal, or you make your meals bigger. And if you want to bulk up with eating multiple meals per day, you either add a meal where you add a moderate calorie surplus, or you make one meal that you normally have a bigger sized portion, one or two meals. So it doesn't really matter what you do, it all comes down to calories in versus calories out and eating sufficient amounts of protein. So at the end of the day, guys, it's all up to what you prefer. Me personally, I love intermittent fasting because it keeps me sharp. It just suits my lifestyle. But if you know that fasting is not your thing and you need multiple meals per day to feel full and satisfied and to stick to your daily calorie requirements, by all means do so. There are no rules when it comes to this stuff, so just play around with it. Calories in versus calories out. And now there is a topic that some people will argue that eating multiple meals is better for muscle protein synthesis when you give your body multiple meals involving a good portion of protein spread all over the day. And that may be true, but there is a big caveat. The benefit you have from that is actually pretty small. And I don't know if those things, those extra results, those extra small percentages, I'm talking about like a 1 or 2% benefit, if you should stress about that. To be quite honest, I train hard, whether I intermittent fast or whether I eat multiple meals across the day. My strength goes up. The calories determine how good I recover from higher amounts of volume. The calories determine whether I lose fat on the calorie deficit. So, like I say, guys, there is stuff to scientific research, and I'm a huge proponent to scientific research. However, if the benefits of doing something are so damn small that it isn't really visible to the eye, and you are going to sacrifice a certain form of freedom for that, in my opinion, it isn't worth it. Having a nice body, making the gym a part of your life is about enhancing your life, about making your life better, and I think it requires a certain form of flexibility. And this is especially true when you are just an average Joe who wants to have a great body and you are not participating in bodybuilding or physique competitions. If you are a bodybuilder, if you are a physique competitor, sure, then I can understand that you want to space your meals out and want to do everything perfect. But if you are just an average Joe, if you just want to have an athletic physique and just want to look good for the beach or when you take your shirt off on whatever occasion, dude, don't stress about it. Have a little fun, live. You can reach about 95% of your maximum potential by working out 3 days per week and eating whatever you want on condition that you have enough protein in your diet and that you respect your calorie requirements. So Guys, don't stress out about the details. That is my biggest recommendation. Focus on what matters. Focus on what will deliver you 80 to 90% of the results. And those small details, those are additional things for when you really have to achieve a certain goal that is higher than expected. But if you just want to get most out of life, things are most easily achieved by focusing on the fundamental principles. And in this case, things aren't any different. So, intermittent fasting versus multiple meals per day or one meal per day, it doesn't matter. Eat enough protein for your body. Eat according to your calorie requirements. Have a good mix of carbs and fats in your diet. And I can guarantee you, if you manipulate your calories properly and combine that with a well-structured resistance training program that focuses on progressive overload, there's nothing to worry about, guys. I hope you've gotten value out of this video and stay tuned for more. Take care.